Hello, I'm Angie Sea, and today's book is Wild Ducks Flying Backward, the Short Writings of Tom Robbins. So, as the title states, it is not a novel, but a collection of short writings that Tom has written throughout the years. Some of the things in there date back to the 60s, and it's a pretty wide variety that you get. There's some poetry, there's some short stories. It's a very interesting collection for sure. I must confess, I have never read anything from Tom Robbins, so I tried not to think about the reviews and on the cover and the back cover and saying how he's such a great writer, because to me he's nothing yet. So I realized that he does have a very distinct tone and rhythm in his prose writing, and it's like a mix of sarcasm and cheekiness. And though this book is labeled as a nonfiction, I can't help but question how much of it is true. It seems very dramatized at times and very embellished, shall I say. And I don't know if it's because he plays with words so intensely, and sometimes it just sounds plain absurd, the things that you read from him. And sometimes you realize that there is some deeper meaning, but other times it's just fun. You can't help but question that he just wrote it for fun, and it's not worth thinking about again afterwards. There are a lot of references, and I was surprised by how much I knew of them. And I think that's the other thing. If you don't know what he's talking about, then that whole bit is kind of lost to you, and it's like a joke that you don't get, and there's no fun left in that. So there's that. And he does just write a lot of comparisons and metaphors, and it's a part of his style, I feel. I said the word. But I felt that this is something that I can't handle in large doses, which makes sense to me because you aren't meant to read all of it, because they are separate short little pieces of writing that have been published in different places at different times, and I understand that. So it's interesting seeing that it doesn't work as a full consecutive reading. So it is something that I would like to take my time with, as opposed to sit there and read the entire book. It's not a book that you can just get hooked on and prowl through in hours at a time. And the other thing is, you can't stop in the middle of a piece, though, I feel. Otherwise you'd be very confused, and there's no way that I feel I could get back into a piece if I stopped in the middle of it. And it is fun for a bit, but I feel like you do get burnt out on it. You do get tired of it. I feel like I would appreciate it more if I had read it in the times that it was written in. I feel like what he's writing in is overdone by now, and that's sad. I can appreciate what he's done, the way he writes. He has his own flair and style to it all. And maybe if I had read less things and this was still, I think that's a big part of it, is there's no novelty left in it for me, and I feel like that was a big part of the appeal, is the little touches of madness, the little quirks and oddities of it. That was very appealing and exciting and fun to read. And I guess overall this is just a good sampler of him. It's, as I said, definitely not a novel, And it was interesting. It's definitely not for children, I must say that. And I don't know. I don't know if I would recommend this to anybody in particular. It's just if you fancy this sort of thing. I feel like you have to sample it for yourself and see if it's something you would delve into. And yeah, I enjoyed it enough, and that's all for this time. Thank you for listening to another episode of A Hug in a Better Place, and I will talk to you next time. Bye now.